All right, let's put this phone on mute so it doesn't start sending notifications like crazy. Quick bit of tea. Oh. No one is here yet. That is fine. We do gotta check our hair. Okay. Let's see. How can I? No, this way. I don't think. Let me just see. It's more visible now. Okay. No, this way. There. Now he can be seen. What is going on down here? We'll click that out. All right. We'll give people a few minutes, and if no one's here, I'll just go ahead and yapper. And that way people can get the update when they watch it later. Let's see. We got one person in here. Hello. How are you? We got a second person coming in. Let's see. Hello. Hello. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. We're just waiting for a few more people to come in. Yes, there is a lot of heat waves. Today we are cloudy, but they do say that, let me just double check. It says it's cloudy, but I do know that they did mention let me see. Oh God, let me refresh that real quick. Oh dear. I am glad I turned the volume off. Okay, so it's 63 now. Possible 10% rain. Yeah, so, but I have heard a lot of the heat waves have been pretty crazy so far. We haven't endured much of this heat. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But it could change. It could change. You never know. It's just yesterday it was really weird. It was rainy, it was cloudy, it was wet. Today it still looks kind of gloomy. We're also kind of lacking energy. So we may alter our plans for the day. But everything is fine. We're just gonna update on things that is happening. Oh yeah, coffee is good. I'm actually out of coffee, so I made some tea. I figured tea would probably be better because I don't know. I just woke up feeling a little icky, which kind of reminds me I need to do something real quick. All right. All right. We'll be here. See, we got 3 people in here now. How's it going? Is there anybody new or are you a returner? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, well, if you're a returner, welcome back. We're gonna wait just a few more minutes and then we'll just start sharing what's been going on. Hello, how's it going? Good to hear. Hey Lisa, how are you? Say Lexi. Okay, Lexi. I'm doing good, Lisa. We have a little bit of an update. Nothing too bad. Just a few things. I was going to share earlier, but then a couple of people were going live, so I was like, okay, let me pause for that. Then a video that I really wanted to see was uploaded, so I watched that, and now we're finally here. And I turned off all my notification sound alarms so I don't get distracted. ASMR. We'll maybe in the far future when we get one of those special microphones. Lord of the Rings, New Zealand born, Middle Earth. Hello, Gary. Good to see you. Your connection has been glitchy. That has been so. I've been hearing about that. I Lisa, out of curiosity, there's been a heat wave going on. Has it is it in your area as well? Because I was just thinking it might have to do something with the heat. And the reason why I say that is because years ago when there was a really bad heat wave, it affected the electricity and everything. And I'm wondering if maybe it could be the heat. It could be the heat if you're in one of those areas you're that it has that heat wave going on. So it could be the heat. I did say your name. You said say Lexi, and I said Lexi. You're fine. You're fine. Oh. It says you golf this. Hello, Star. How are you? Good to see you. That's good. Oh, yeah, I found it at the Michael's Craft Store. They might have them back up this year because they've already started putting their Halloween stuff up. Lexi, if you want to look for one. Oh, it's doing good, Star. My energy is kind of in the balance right now, and I'm debating if I'm going to go out or not. Because I'm kind of feeling a little down weather, but not in a bad way. But I'm just debating. I'm drinking tea to see if I'm just tea right now, just to see if that helps. But we did a lot of walking yesterday, and that's going to be part of the updates. Speaking of which, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the update now that everybody's here. Let's chit chat about that. Okay, so I hope everybody's got a good beverage on them or a snack. So we're gonna I'm gonna go ahead and put on my extra eyeballs for this. Okay, so as you guys know, I posted it in the post. I got a notification that they want me to come in person to the housing office because they've been having some difficulties with, for some reason, with the faxed paperwork that I've sent them. They told me the reason and how it was like it was looking blurry, it was looking weird. Mm, well, if you want to see some makeup hacks, Lexi, definitely go to my playlist section. And there's a ton of makeups right now with some tips to kind of to help you out. Definitely. Okay. Now back to subject. So, yesterday was the day we went. And the day before yesterday, everything was dry, sunshine, and hot. Everybody said I got this in the bag, nothing to worry about. I wake up yesterday, the day of when we go in person to the housing program. It's wet, it's cloudy, it's rainy. It has that cinematic, it's going to be a bad, dramatic day. I was just all it needed was the cinematic, sad, bad news music, and that would have been the energy yesterday that I was feeling due to that weather. It was like, okay, I love the cloudy, rainy weather, but not on a day like this. A day, it added to my stress levels. I went with Chunky. She helped me out. She was there for moral support. And on the way there, my current building gives me another, we need an updated emergency contact. This is like the third or fourth time they've requested this, and I'm keep wondering what in the hell are they doing? They're not keeping track. They're not keeping track because seriously, I think I've given them so many of the same emergency contact applications that it's just gone crazy. So I fill that out while we're in the housing office just to get it done and over with so I could turn it in. I didn't turn it in yesterday. So because I was that tired. We meet the person. They were okay. They were kind of like, let's stick with business type of energy. So, which is not bad. It's just, they're the kind of, let's just get this done and over with. But they're not rude about it. They seem rude, but they're not. They're just like, let's just get this done. This needs to be done type of energy. So, which was fine. We got the paperwork signed in front of them. They printed the items that they needed to print themselves. So I think now progression with new housing will actually begin now that they did stuff that they said was not complete and they completed it with me in person. So hopefully there's no issue now because it's like, what other issues can there be if I've completed what they needed in person? So we get done there, and then Chunky had to handle some business. So I went with Chunky to help with her, to be moral supportive for her business. And then after that, we were both hangry. I was on a tight budget, but then because I thought an event that we were all going to was this weekend, it's actually not this weekend, it's next weekend. Thank goodness, because next weekend is payday. Um, So we splurged a little bit. We splurged more than we thought. So we're down to $2 or $3 left for play money. So and we do have a little bit of food stamps. So fingers crossed, you guys, that we survived. We did come up with some little helpful bits that we put in the freezer. A lot of it is, it's got to be freezed because the expiration date has reached. So we prepared it, we froze it, so it's all ready for what we need for what we need the ingredients for. So, yes. Also, I was given a notification that now our building, which for some reason has not been given a lot of maintenance, is roach infested. So now, fights in the hallway, drug use, prostitution, mold, um, what's very bad hygienic areas, and now roaches. All we need is rats, and this place would be the perfect ghetto. Fortunately, though, we have not seen any roaches in our apartment yet. I say yet because you never know. We have only seen the seasonal fruit flies, which is normal. They're annoying, but they come every summer. They drive Josette crazy, and I have to try to kill each and every one of them. And they're impossible to kill. And then they basically annoy the heck out of Josette. So Josette is having freakouts. Right now she's sleeping, so she's being left alone. But we do have some fly tape for what little bit of fly tape we have left. So hopefully we can get them all. But I think we got more than norm. And I think the reason why we got more than norm is because people have been, we no longer have food waste bins. The waste bins, for some reason, have been discontinued in our building. So people have just been, instead of fusing their waste with garbage, which I guess would be like the only solution, they've decided they're just going to dump rotting food, rotting edible stuff onto the floor in the garbage room. So when you walk in, there's like slime and sewage. So no wonder we got roaches. I'm not going to talk anymore about it because I almost I would literally, I almost was tempted to take a photo. I was so tempted to take a photo when I walked into that nightmare, when I first saw that mess for the first time. And I reported it, and it's still there. It's still there. It's nasty. So I have a feeling, because the only place that they seem to focus on a deep clean is the work source floor. That floor looks spotless. Now, we do have people who come up here to clean, but they don't clean too often. So this place, other than the work source, the only public place, every tenant floor looks like a nasty ghetto. People who are allowed to move in here are, I can give you descriptions. The best way I can tell you is this building in the beginning, there was restrictions. It's a regular tenant building, a regular tenant building. The only thing that violates living here is attacking another tenant or staff member, vandalism, harassment, drug use, sneaking in barred people. Those are the 5 big no-nos. And ever since the whole COVID incident, people have been slacking. It's like a lot of people have been stabbed. both a staff member and a couple of tenants have been assaulted by a tenant. That tenant was allowed to stay here. There has been indecent filming without people's permission. That was finally dealt with, but that person still has cams on their body that they carry around on their body, and they just continue to film. So it's like, even though they removed all 5 or 6 cams from their door, they're still filming people. So yeah, this place, like, literally, I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to leave because I have a feeling that they're planning to sell this building. I seriously think that they're planning to sell this building, and a lot of people are like saying they'll move you. There's a lot of stuff. They will rehouse you. There's a lot of things that they were supposed to do for the benefit of the tenant that they have not done. I 100% doubt they're going to rehome us, which is why I am hoping that I hear word from housing that I can move. And I am moving to a place that is not connected to this. I don't want to refer to it as a program, but it is a company build. It is a company. I want to refer to it as a company building because it is part of an organization that has positivities. But I hate to say it, the positivities, they don't, this, at least this branch does not represent what they're offering. Protection from violence, safety. It's not safe here. It is not, we're not protected here. The people who have assaulted people have just been patted on the shoulder and told not to do it again. And then it is what used to be like a very quick eviction for people who immediately have committed violence. For some reason, people have taken their time with it. People don't care. I mean, there was a lady who they finally kicked her out. They finally kicked her out. But allegedly, she stabbed a tenant. She assaulted a staff person twice. And she has managed to live here for 3 years. Her violent tendencies have been enabled. And they just now finally threw her out, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 months ago. But other than that, she's been living here rent free and being a terror, being a severe terror. And they finally let her go. They finally realized, we need to let her go. So, yeah. And to top it off, last week, we got a drink with a tarot reading, and the tarot wasn't that great. So, and this is before we heard about the roaches, before we kept getting application issues, before we got other stuff. So I'm like, what the hell? So, yes. But good news, despite our living conditions have increased horrifically, we have filled out in person to the new housing program our application. They have addressed themselves as the guy who makes the final decisions, who literally, I forget what the word is, who basically processes, who does the final processing. So to me, that means that is the final step before we get the big call. So the big call hopefully will be anytime, unless they decide, well, since the paperwork, we've been having difficulties with the paperwork, all the 6 months you've been waiting, and you could have heard something in June or this month, we're going to start the count. We're going to start the monthly countdown now. So let's say they do that. So July, August, September, October, November, December. So if anything, I'll hear something in December, which sucks. It sucks. It really sucks if that's the case. Oh, I will, Lisa. I will. And I seriously hope that I am out of here before anything else gets worse because I've been hearing the whoever's in control of this building now has not has been very secretive. They have not told the tenants why we have to pay for why these new bills have been published. We do not know what went wrong. They're not telling us what's what's going on. They're just saying you got to do this, you got to do that, and you got to do more. And they're not explaining why we have to do these new things, that new thing, and a lot more things. They're not giving us a reason why when this place is supposed to be set up to where we don't have to worry about that because it's low income. But for some reason, we got to worry about it, and it sucks. So yeah, we're stuck in this grummy place, and we just got news that it's getting grummier. Yep. Oh, it's okay, Star. Welcome back. A quick run. Sorry if you didn't hear all that. We're still stuck here. Application for a new place is still being, is I think finally being processed. All the paperwork we they kept saying was not finished has been finished. We finished it in person. We're just stuck here. There's more problems coming our way with this building, and we're forced to live with it. And roaches. We got roaches. Well, not in our apartment yet, but there is a roach infestation, I've heard, on the sixth and seventh floor. And just to tell you how ghetto this place has gotten, remember a while back I was telling you guys about the Christmas trees that have not been taken down? The fourth floor still has its Christmas tree. It's still covered in decoration, but it is pure brown now. It is fully dead. Tree branches are everywhere, and it's still up, and it's just literally a dead tree. In all honesty, they just should just leave it up and not worry about putting a tree up this coming up Christmas hell because they already got a hell tree up. It's just dead. Mm. Yep, bugs, but fortunately not in my house yet. And I say yet because it's only a matter of time before all the mess that's been going on my floor drags it on my floor. It is, it's quite horrible. And waste bins have been discontinued in this building. So people have been just, instead of like, fusing their waste with their garbage, we're just going to dump it on the floor in a corner in the garbage room. So there is a pile of like decaying food, rotting vegetables and fruit on the floor. No one has cleaned it up. It's decayed. It's literally when you walk in, you gotta like wear a mask because the stench is so strong, and when you can inhale it in both your nose and your mouth, and you will get sick. I'm gonna stop talking about it now because seriously, just talking about it, I'm remembering what I saw. I dread taking my garbage out now because I had to deal with that mess, and I've reported that mess, but that mess is still there. what? It would be very nice if some of the tenants went ape shit. And what I mean by ape shit is if they grabbed some of that waste, brought it down to the staff floor and dumped it all on there, because it's like their floor, extremely cleaned, well kept, but all the tenant floors is a ghetto. They focus on making themselves look good. People come in like some of the new tenants, they're decent. They think they're moving in somewhere nice. It's because when they walk in, the first thing they're going to see is just the staff floor. They're not going to see the chaos. They're not going to see the grossness. They're going to sign a lease, and then when they move in, they're going to walk into a nightmare, because the only thing that they've seen is the staff floor, and they're going to assume the tenant rooms look just as nice as the staff floor. It's not. It's filthy. It's filthy. So yeah, I also start. I don't know if you heard, but I have a suspicion that they're going to sell this building, because this building is in prime location, and I have a feeling they're going to want to buy. They're going to sell it, and since they have neglected a lot of things that they were supposed to do for tenants, they're going to neglect to rehouse tenants, which means they're going to just basically sell the building. They're going to let us know last minute, and we're going to get thrown out when they're supposed to rehouse us. So I hope to goodness that I am out of here before that happens, because I do not want to be here when they're like, get the hell out of here. You no longer own, this is no longer your house. And I would not be surprised. I would seriously not be surprised. Everyone's making a fuss, Star, but everybody, but here's the thing. Everyone's fussing about it, but they don't know who to complain to, because the people that were supposed to be informed who to complain to, they're not giving us that information. They keep saying, well, we can talk to so-so, but so-so won't talk to us. So they're refusing to forward our complaints. They're either not wanting to, they either are actually that dumbfounded and not knowing who to go to, or they're not telling us because they know that the moment they get tattled on, they're going to be in a lot of shit. So they're basically, I guarantee you, they're just protecting themselves. So they're not helping us out at all at where to turn to. We half the tenants, including myself, don't know who to go to. And even if we went to those people when we found them, how are we going to prove what's going on? That's the thing. We can go in and we can share, we could all have similar stories, but unless we have proof, and I don't know what they mean by proof, because seriously, what proof do we need? Do we have to prove that, do we, the only thing I can think of is showing them photos. It's like, look at this mess. And I guarantee you, they come down to inspect that mess, and that mess will be extremely clean, because unfortunately, no one can't do surprise visits. They have to inform the building that they're coming to do a health inspection. And I guarantee you, whenever they've done that, that's when they do a deep dive cleaning. That's when they throw in money to do a deep dive cleaning to save their asses, because they want to make sure that the only places that are grimy is the tenants, so they can just point the finger at the tenant and say it's because it's their fault. It's not ours. We keep our building clean. They don't keep their building clean. They only do a deep dive clean when they're in trouble. Well, if we do, I do not know where we would go. And also, another thing, people don't, people hate retaliation. And a lot of the tenants have seen retaliation happen. So a lot of them who want to complain, they're hesitant to complain because retaliation is a very high thing. And I would do that, but here's the thing, I don't know where to go. I'm not given the right location. I've tried talking to people, and it's like whenever I share them, they say, well, they keep forwarding me to another branch. It's like, what sounds like your issue is with this branch. So I go to that branch. They send me back to the previous branch. And then that branch sends me to another branch. And then that branch sends me to another branch. So it's like they don't even know how to handle it. It's just a pure shithole. I was so hopeful to start, but unfortunately, because the housing program did not get the paperwork perfectly, and I had to do it in person, I have a feeling that it's going to be another 6 month wait, which means it's going to probably happen in December. I hope not. I hope it's sooner than December because I am just so sick and tired of this place. I am so sick and tired of this place, and I'm telling you, I do not want to. I And plus, here's the thing, moving in December is not going to be great. If it comes to it to where I hear word that I can move out of here in December, it's not going to be great. Because as you guys know, December is the big holiday hell season. So trying to move during Hellmas month is not going to be great. Well, a good example star is a lot of holiday parades, a lot of holiday activity, special events. So that holds up traffic, that blocks roads, and a lot of the highly religious people, especially those who run businesses. If it's a Wednesday or a Sunday and you're scheduled to move out those days, their first and big priority is going to be church. So they'd rather go to church instead of do their business. If the company is ran by churchgoers, which is a nightmare. But you can't do, like, if you're low budget and you have to use a family owned moving business, you have to tolerate that. If you do a company moving business, it's more money by the hour. And with my case, I will have to go to a family moving business. And I'm just hoping to goodness that none of the moving times is around Wednesday or Sunday, because that was basically, they're going to be like, well, we won't be here at this time, but we'll be there after church. And you have friends who will have time limits, friends that will help, who come to help you, they have time limits. So it's like your time, the time that they can help you is running out because somebody has to go basically re-listen to the story of how Jesus got born. Not a lot, Star. They kind, in a way, they're kind of like hidden. Now, government, like, well, not government, company owned businesses, they don't care. They want the money. They want the money. But if you do family owned businesses, so a lot of those family owned businesses are very church going. And like I said, it's not just because of the family, it's not just the family owned businesses. It's like December, a lot of parades. I think they have like 5 or 6 parades every year. Um, Road street walk events. So that means roads are going to be closed, traffic is going to be bad. So let's say I have a schedule for noon to 3, and it falls under one of those events. The moving van would not get here until like maybe 1:30, and I would have maybe a time limit to move maybe one load of items. Oh, no worries, Sanis. Glad you're here. Welcome. And yeah, and that's the hard part with moving companies. Star, um, a company run moving company is the best because they're going to care more about the money. And what I mean by that is church event or non-church event, they're going to be there. Family run companies, they're going to be like, if they're, especially if they're religious, they're going to be like, well, we can't do that time because that affects our church time. Fingers crossed it does bring down the temperature. It's possible, but it's still, even still, because of holiday parades, because of holiday events, traffic could be bad, roads could be closed. So like, and if we have a time limit, like I said, if I ordered a van to use from noon to 3, because of those events, there's a possibility, especially if the van is scheduled on one of those events, which, whatever is available, you have to take the availability. Um, and if one of those availabilities fell on those holidays, I guarantee you, I would not see that van outside my building until like maybe an hour later due to the traffic, due to the BS. And plus, I live in the horrific Third Avenue hell. And Third Avenue hell during holiday season is 100 times worse because there's a whole bunch of people that are angry. Oh, wow. I will be right back, you guys. I do have to get food prep something real quick. It won't take me but a few minutes. All right, we're back. We just have the noodles on the water. Oh no. The sun is out. Shit. Let's see, where are they? Here they are. Luckily, we have an air conditioner. Yes, it does smell great in the summer. Well, we're fixing slop noodles. So slop noodles, it's going to sound disgusting, but it is quite good. You take pinto beans and you pour cheese sauce on top of the the cooked pinto beans, the pinto broth and all, and you stir it up, and then you mix it with the soup mixture and spice seasoning from the noodle pack, and then you make a thick sauce. And with leftover milk, you add it. You add a little bit of leftover milk, and then you thicken up the sauce, and then you set it aside, and then you have a quite a bit good bit of sauce. So you like made a large quantity of sauce. So you basically doctored it up to make a large bit of sauce to add to anything. And then with the noodles you use that you sacrifice the packets from, you can cook those, add a little extra more beans, and then pour the cheese sauce slop on top of it, heat it up after the noodles are cooked, and that's basically what you have is basically poor slop noodles. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's like literally one of those poor man. I guess you could say it's like a poor man recipe, but it's a strange combo, but it's filling and it's edible. Very true, Swamp Fox. Very true. We got to walk the dogs today, so we're going to be eating the. We're probably, as soon as that stuff is done, we're going to probably eat that real quick, get our socks and shoes on, and then head out the door. And hopefully, this heat does not melt us. Mm. But yeah, we'll be just playing with these doctored up experiments of food until we go to the Dollar Tree and probably grab some more stuff to experiment with what we have left of food stamps. So yeah, it's going to be a very unique day. We may not do Dollar Tree today, but probably on the weekend. I don't know. Oh, let me look. Oh, But until the 24th, so hopefully on the 20th, maybe between, I want to say between the 22nd and the 25th, between those days is when payday happens. So fingers crossed, sometime between the day earliest as possible we get paid, and then we can really engorge. We could stock up on better foods. All right, the noodles look like they're boiling, so I have to tend to them real quick. One sec. A few more minutes. And then I have Elwin Bishop in the background. His outfit has been altered. We've cut off the buttons. We've sewn up the buttonholes, and we've added an extension of fabric that's close to the fabric. That's similar in texture and color to the fabric of his outfit, and we added little corset eyelets. So now his shirt laces up. So there's definitely some room. There's definitely plenty, hopefully, room, since the cost person who made it was a little off in the size. I haven't done my Summerween shopping either. I want to do my Summerween shopping. But it's just whenever I get paid, something happens and I have to deal with that, and it takes my money. Oh, congratulations. A big congratulations, Sanis. I really hope that the new job is a lot better and pays better. I have to do the final prep for these noodles, starting with straining them, and then I just pour the sauce on and everything. I then, as soon as I get done eating, I have to basically run out of here to go tend to the doggies. I want to thank you all for coming. I might upload a video. I don't know if I'll do a live later when I get back, but I will probably do a video and upload it later tonight. No promises. It just depends on what happens after I walk the dogs. Um, that's good to hear, Sanis. Big golf hugs to everyone. Big golf hugs. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video or the next live. I think we'll probably do a costume test with the Elwin costume. Probably when I get back, I will probably film it because we just need to see if something will work with the costume, because what I've done to it, it requires something. So we're going to see if what I have will work with it. So stay tuned for that video. I will see you in the next one. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day or evening. And stay cool. This heat wave is insane. See you all later. Bye-bye.